Hey guys, welcome back. One of the members, Sean, was telling me a little bit about the Gurkhas not too long ago and serving in the British Army. And I found this video. I'm going to look for more, but this one is from the Fat Electrician. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. Um, I'm familiar with him from, he actually does a lot of I apologize, still getting over that cold. But he actually does like a lot of in-depth military stuff. Like he does from what I've seen, he does a lot of U.S. stuff. But I think he does stuff for all over, and he's pretty on point, very knowledgeable. If you guys are interested, you should go check him out if you haven't already, because he does some really, really great in-depth videos. This one is actually a pretty short one for his, but it's just the title of it is The Fat Electrician Reviews Gurkhas. I just kind of wanted to get a look at this to kind of get a little bit more of an introduction, and then I'm going to find some more videos. Maybe you guys, if you are familiar with some really good videos, you can send them my way. Just throw them in the comments. Yeah, I will link this video in the description, along with a link over to Patreon and a link of how you can support the channel here on YouTube. On occasion, I have been recently kind of putting videos over on Patreon that are going onto YouTube a little early. Like some bloopers that we did the other day from In-Betweeners. They went on there days before they came on YouTube. So if you guys haven't done so, go join Patreon. You can look at some of that stuff for free. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump in and see what this guy's got to say about the Gurkhas.
About Gurkhas. But first, this episode is brought to you by an anonymous CB that wanted to give a shout out to my liver. Thanks. If you don't know, Gurkhas fight for the British military, aka America Original Recipe, aka America Classic. And while they fight for the British military, they are from Nepal. They come from small villages at high altitudes in the Alpine Mountains. With an average weight of 150 pounds and the average height of 5'3", Gurkhas tend to be smaller in stature. But like Mark Twain said, it's not about the size of the dog in the fight, it's about the size of the fight in the dog. Gurkhas can be identified by two unique characteristics. One being this hat canted to the side, known as a tarai. And two, the kukri, a large curved blade approximately 18 inches long that they carry with them at all times. Legend has it that when the kukri becomes unsheathed, it must draw blood. So if a Gurkha draws it for something besides stacking bodies, they will actually cut their own fingers to draw blood to honor that tradition. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot stress enough that the Gurkhas are absolutely deadly with the kukri. They are the only men on the planet that can bring a knife to a gunfight and win. And that's not me being clever. It's actually happened. In World War II, the Gurkhas were going up against the Germans and the Gurkhas ran out of ammo. At which point they drew their kukris, yelled Io Grekale, and bum-rushed a fortified machine gun position and proceeded to unalive everybody in it. If you don't know, Io Grekale is what the Gurkhas yell when they're about to do some gangster shit. It translates as, the Gurkhas are upon you. If you are a bad guy and you hear Io Grekale, the best possible thing that's going to happen to you next is they name a salad after you. If you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm trying to tell you you're about to get shanked. I don't know how many times, but it's going to be a lifetime supply. The official motto of the Gurkhas is, it is better to die than to be a coward. And they mean it. And that is why whenever the Gurkhas make the headlines, it is for the most ridiculous shit ever. For example, how about that time in World War II when 3 Gurkhas went toe-to-toe with 200 Japanese soldiers, held the line for 4 hours, and forced the Japanese to retreat? How about that time in 2010, when an unknown amount of Taliban insurgents ambushed a single Gurkha? He fought all night long, sustaining 0 injuries, and when the sun came up, there was 30 dead bodies in the front yard. 30! That is the largest earthworm amusement park known to man. Or, my personal favorite, a retired Gurkha was returning home on a train. That train was then boarded by a gang of 40 men with guns and knives. The men then began robbing the train of their jewelry, cell phones, and money. But when those men decided that they were going to take advantage of a young woman on the train, that Gurkha had seen enough. At which point he pulled out the old slippery boomerang, started opening up bad guys like they were Amazon packages, putting 3 of them in a permanent underground timeout, and injuring 8 more before the rest fled. Yeah, I guess you could say I'm pretty happy these guys weren't fighting for the British in 1776, because if they were, I might be doing stuff in tents and drinking metric leaf water for fun. In conclusion, if you ever hear the words Io Gurkhale, you should lay down and pretend to be dead. Otherwise, you're going to find out the hard way these guys can't believe you're not butter. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy my content and maybe like to buy me a beer about it, there's a link for that right here. That is all.
Usually he does these really good in-depth videos, but he does have a lot of humor in it, and obviously what he's putting down, I'm picking up as the Gurkhas are super badass, not to be messed with, and it doesn't even matter how many there are and how many of you there might be, because they're going to make it real tough on you if you manage to come out of it alive. Um, I'm gonna try to. I don't know if he's done any like further in depth on that. I do need to go through and see if he's done some more on like British soldiers and stuff like that. Because he talks about like individual soldiers usually, and then like certain wars, certain events, like he's done some really good ones that I've seen, and I'm not like a huge military buff, but I've come across them, and I end up staying to watch all of it because he just does a really good job telling those stories. That one was a short, I guess, longer than a short, but usually his videos are much better put together. But yeah, if you guys know of any particular videos you think I should watch about the Gurkhas or particular stories, please put them in the comments because I would love to learn more about them. But yeah, I'm interested. So hopefully this week we get some Gurkhas videos, because they sound really interesting. Sound like some guys you definitely would want on your side, right? Um, but yeah, hopefully you guys like that. Hit the like button, hit subscribe if you haven't done so already, and please comment if you know some stories or some videos that you think I should check out in that vein. And yeah, thanks guys for watching with me.